right to the belly. Look at Black, he can't do much, no mana, the free hit is not there. Lian makes it away with a slash and dice combo, can start it off.
Here it's going to be Antares, the victim of a gank here, but gets the first blood with all the unleashed powers.
Trying to disrupt things in. Whoa, look at the damage! Oh my lord, what was that? A triple kill! This is a quadra! Hello is very low!
Sa mga summoners, maligayang pagbabalik dito sa Garena Log Collegiate League 2017 Summer Term North Conference Finals powered by Lenovo. Challenge what you know. Pero bago tayo pumunta sa ating Game 2, papakilala ko muna kami. Kami yung casters for today. I'm Mark Fam. With me is Chisto. And kakagaling lang natin, of course, sa Game 1 earlier. This is a best of 5, so medyo mahaba-haba pa yung lalakbayin natin. Especially kung mag-back and forth, kung mag-ping-pong yung win. So, we'll just have to see, man.
But looking at the previous game, of course, nakita natin UC absolutely destroying, in a sense, BULSU, right, just getting so far ahead. So I wonder, how can BULSU bounce back?
We'll just have to see. And though, in all fairness, these two teams, I'm actually not as surprised that we're seeing them in the finals just because UC, they had a great run ng huling collegiate league natin. For BULSU naman, gaya nga ng sinabi ko ng mga previous streams natin na they've struggled to find their footing within the LCL. Pero for this particular term, like there's a lot of familiar faces. So parang nakikita ko yung potential talaga nila na maybe, just maybe, win the LCL. But let's go ahead and see as we head into the pick and ban phase for Game 2. Of course, banned out from UC Zoe, as well as the Cho'Gath naman from BULSU. So
let's see, how will BULSU adapt? And already they banned out 2 champions that UC picked during their previous game. That is a huge shift as far as strategy goes. And like I usually say, the first game in a best of 5 is usually a feeling out process where both teams will try and react to what the other team can toss at them.
Right.
It looks like BULSU does have a slight read on what UC wants to do versus them, and now they've adjusted. Let's see how will their adjustments pan out as we head on to the rest of the drafting phase. And here, Orin is up one of the strongest top laners at the moment.
No surprise at all. I was actually thinking that nung lumabas na yung first 6 bans, like, oh, definitely there could be a potential Orin first pick, and looks like that is going to be a potential pick for Bulacan State University. Laki nga ba yan, though? Let's go ahead and see.
They will.
We're waiting.
They have to.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Do it for the Forge God.
It's either they take it or they're going to have to suffer the call. Okay.
Yeah, of course. So, Orin is locked in for BULSU. That wasn't on the table during the previous game. And what Orin provides to a team is a very strong top lane presence. He has a lot of range for going for these initiations onto the members of UC. And with that being said, BULSU looks like they will be sticking to their usual bot lane duo, Caitlyn and Morgana. It did work out fairly well for them. If the Jace during the previous game didn't absolutely go off, I think the Morgana Caitlyn is still a very potent bot lane duo because they have a lot of range. They're very oppressive. Right. And it's just a very safe laning phase for MP.
And if you're gonna view just in general history, yung mga naging games ng BULSU, they've been performing pretty much with this Caitlyn and Morgana. This is one of the dual bot lane picks that they'd like to maneuver on, which also kind of propelled them to where they're at right now in the finals. So let's just go ahead and see, man. Meanwhile, looks like that will be the Jhin as the last pick from UC within the first rotation. Quick review of the second rotation of bans. Snar and the Camille target bans onto Kissy. Meanwhile, Malzahar and Oriana naman kay George. So no surprise right there as far as respect bans that we're seeing. Rai is going to be locked in from UC. Let's go ahead and see BULSU hovering over the Kazakhs as well as the Corki.
This is a very strong draft from BULSU if they decide to go with the rest of these picks. Kazakhs and Corki can be very oppressive as well, and now they have that Orin in the top lane, a very strong tank. That's just a huge compliment, and this comp just works with each other very well. But UC, will this be a Yorick lock-in?
Oh, I would love to see Yorick.
Yorick is very interesting. We don't see a lot of Yorick.
Indeed.
Quite literally.
Right, yeah, quite literally. I'm wondering, though, that would make an interesting pick, though. I mean, let's just go ahead and see if that will indeed potentially... Okay, I knew it.
No,
I had to
switch it up.
I knew it.
Okay, so
Kennen,
that will signal that the Jarvan will be going once again onto Cry in the jungle. But with that being said, depending on how Kissy opts to build this Kennen, if he goes AP, Chris will have a very easy time itemizing versus that because he will outscale the Kennen as far as the tank stats go, definitely. But if Kissy does build for that AD, he can't possibly 1v1 the Ornn as far as the laning phase goes.
And we'll just have to see if that could potentially be the case. But again, ladies and gents, from wherever you're watching, with all champions locked in for both sides, sino tingin nyo mananalo dito sa game 2? Is it going to be Bulacan State University or University of the Cordilleras? Of course, time will tell, because this is going to be the best of 5 series that will determine who will become the champion for the North Conference.
Yeah, and I really like the adaptation that BULSU did, because during the previous game, we saw that their top laner got smashed by the Jace, really, but now they have a stronger top lane pick, a better matchup for Chris in the top lane, and let's see how that will pan out as we head on to the Rift for the second game of this best of 5. BULSU on the blue side versus UC on the red side.
There you go, ladies and gents. Let's go ahead and check out the action right there. Looks like for both sides, though, I was hoping that we were gonna see a little bit of an invade, but mukhang easy muna mga pare natin sa Summoner's Rift. Walang hanky-panky na magaganap.
Yeah, because during that previous game, somebody from UC got caught. I do believe it was JP. Face checked into a Morgana, but that is a big ward.
Indeed. Spotting out 3 members, not only that, giving information as to where ICE will be starting would be crucial information for University of the Cordillera. So they will be able to adjust accordingly, and they will get an idea as to what rotation ICE will be going for within this first few minutes of the game.
Yeah, the win conditions for both teams are quite different this time. For UC, they aren't running the same poke comp. Now they need to look for team fights. They need to go for these engages, use the Karma, try and run down the members of BULSU. But if this game goes long, the scaling is definitely in favor of Bulacan State University.
Just have to see though. Meanwhile, take note, Franz and Akinos just kind of voting their time there. Going to try to go for the
my
steal.
god.
That was very, very scary. But looks like ICE will be getting that red buff.
That was very close and could have been disastrous for the Kazakh. He would have been denied a level 2, but great secure on the buff.
Yep.
That will opt Cry to go for an invade because he knows ICE started red buff, so he will end up on this blue side of the jungle, and another ward placed will spot out BULSU's jungler, the information game.
Great offensive vision coming in from University of the Cordilleras, and this is tricky for ICE because if anything, you won't really be able to go for these ganks within the first few minutes just because of UC being fully aware, but looks like that's going to be Cry going in onto ICE right there. He's going to try to juke it out, does manage to secure the blue buff Cry, but that will force ICE to flash away, and blue buff denied.
Cry is on the wrong side of the map here. He's getting collapsed, and will he be able to get out?
That is the question right there. Goes in onto ICE. That will that be first blood? Oh, heal comes in from Jor's. First blood secured. Buff transfer complete onto the mid laner of Bulacan State University.
Just enough healing coming there onto ICE from Kazakh's W and from his mid laner as well. Great teamwork from BULSU to turn that around. You thought Cry would come out ahead because he secured the blue buff in that invade, but no, BULSU, they turn it around, and that is disastrous for the Jarvan.
Man, oh man, not just for the Jarvan, but even for JP there. He has to deal with a Corki with both red buff and blue buff. So we'll just have to see how that goes down. A little bit unfortunate for Cry, though. Pushed the boundaries a bit too much, overstayed his welcome, and down he went. Yeah,
but still, momentum is in the favor of UC because they did win that first game quite convincingly, but maybe now it's shifting after that weird skirmish up in BULSU's jungle.
Right. Man, oh man. We'll just have to see if this will ultimately affect UC, especially Cry, because that was a little bit of a detriment right there. I mean, it was bad enough that he almost could have gotten ICE, but great response coming in from Jorce, popping the heal just right at the last moment, wherein Cry almost thought that he'd get, okay, another buff transfer right there. JP flashing in for the kill onto Jorce.
Yeah, everyone wants those double buffs. Very juicy.
Man, whew. I mean, the pace of this game thus far, we've been seeing a lot of action. We're only 4 minutes, take note, ladies and gents, so...
Yeah, and Jorce was sort of playing with fire there because he knew the Ryze could flash on top of him, and with the Ryze's CC being point and click, no cleanse, there's really no escape from that, but... Oh, Cry is snuck up in the bot lane.
Oh, MP gets knocked up right there. Down he goes, Cry getting the kill. Meanwhile, Rob trying to back away, force the flash away. That will be another casualty from Bulacan State University.
Yeah, and we just blinked, and all of a sudden, 2 kills over to University of the Cordilleras after that botched jungle invade. So great turnaround by them, showing they aren't flustered at all. The BULSU how will they respond to this?
We'll just have to see, though. But, man, it's just kind of going back and forth. But then again, what I like about is Cry not getting deterred by what happened earlier, just coming back much stronger, getting a successful gank. Not only that, getting the kill onto MP. So this is a good step up, good recovery for University of Cordilleras, despite that small squabble that happened towards the upper side of the map between buffs.
Yeah, and that's what he needed. The best moment. Whoa!
Another knockup right there. Just goes in hard onto MP. MP just not catching a break. Akinos getting to kill. Meanwhile, looks like BULSU going to try to get a kill of their own. Chris managing to solo the cannon. Ice not even needed. Right there. Chris almost goes down, though. Tricky.
Wait, actually, does the cannon have Ignite? Oh, he has Ignite.
Oh, now that you know, now that I realize, yeah. So, with that Ignite, that actually does kind of limit Kisi as far as what responses he can go for on the map.
Is he running Unsealed Spellbook on Kennen? Maybe he's running Unsealed Spellbook. I don't know,
Perhaps.
but if he is running Unsealed Spellbook, that does allow Kennen to go for more of these flash slicing Maelstrom engages because it lowers the cooldown on that very huge summoner spell on Kennen. But looking back, during that bot lane gank, I should say, they just patiently waited for MP to come back and they're able to pick up a kill again. And that will give so much more pressure to the bot lane of BULSU to try and come back.
And MP might run dry a bit there. Not only is he 0-2, but CS difference just a little bit, though. Nothing particularly substantial just yet, though. He might need to hold his ground, because if he falls behind all the more, if he continues to get abused right there, not only by Franz and Akinos, but through potential ganks from Cry, then that could potentially be troubling for Bulacan State University's bot lane, too. But still early to tell, though. If anything, gold difference, we're only sitting at 1,000, so nothing particularly substantial just yet. It's just that Bulacan State University don't have as much of a luxury to encounter more casualties as they have.
Yeah, but going back to your previous point, where even though Cry did have a hiccup during the early game, he came back from it, and mental fortitude like that is very important in a best of 5. You can't get flustered. You need to keep your play very consistent. And Ice is going for a bit of a sneaky invader. He will get spotted out, though.
Yeah, it's Ice just going to get that root right there. Here comes Christo to help out his jungler. That's going to be the knock-up onto JP. No further pursuit yet, though.
There is no flash on Rise.
Rise, he's just going to walk his way. Is there going to be any response? Jor is actually just going to clear out vision from that brush right there, so no further casualties will happen. Still sitting at 2-3, so we'll just have to see a little bit later on where we'll be seeing the action.
Yeah, that was very wise from BULSU to back out. They didn't see where the Jarvan was, so smartly enough, they do back off. But if they did go for it, Cry was way down in the bot lane, so very, very risky stuff from both teams.
Good restraint indeed. Meanwhile, slowly building up though this gold difference. I mean, this is one of those slowly but surely type of scenarios wherein, oh, Chris getting the knock-up though onto DC.
Look at the trade.
Damage. That will be a stun onto Chris though to prevent any further pursuit. So.
But looking at what Kissy has opted to build here, I see 2 Amp Tomes, so that will signal the cannon will be going for an AP-oriented build. What that does mean, in an extended fight, the Ornn will always win 1v1 as long as he can survive the initial burst. And looking at the way Chris is deciding to build his items, it looks like he will be able to survive that. So after the laning phase, it's going to be very hard for Kissy to 1v1 the Ornn.
Interesting to note, first turret has been taken towards bot side. MP and Ralph just not having the best time here. Not only are they behind in gold, also, take note, in terms of level as well, Ice though getting half health by Jors, but here comes Jors though. Take note, Jors doesn't have mana though, so will be forced to back away. Ice flashes. Will he manage to escape? So that is the question. He is still in enemy territory though. Here comes Chris though to potentially go for the save, but no, JP goes for the flash and in for the kill.
That was very aggressive by Ice, and not respecting the roam as well coming from Kissy, and the lockdown from JP is quite tanky on this Raish, I should say, able to survive the isolation damage. So over-aggression there bites Ice back.
Ooh, 2-4 right now. Things are looking good for UC. I like the slow build-up right here. Gold difference slowly leaning towards their favor. If anything, very substantial difference that we're seeing right now. Cry actually flags and drags in there. Looks like Ralph will be able to escape though, but that will be vision denied from Bulacan State University as Cry goes for a little bit of a clear there. This does establish a little bit more control over Infernal Drink, which is a very juicy buff to get should they manage to secure it.
Yeah, UC is going to what won them the first game, playing around their winning lane, constantly invading BULSU's jungle, not giving them any breathing room, and with all these wards being placed down, it's just UC dictating the control, the pace of the game, and at some point they need to begin moving the Jhin around the map, try and siege down these towers, because if they allow BULSU enough time to scale, they're gonna have a very hard time team fighting versus an Ornn and a Caitlyn.
Meanwhile, let's go ahead and look at what's transpiring across lanes though. So for top side, I'd say Chris definitely holding his own against Kissy. For junglers, I mean, it's very clear. There's a lot that Ice has been doing across the map, which either leads to success or failure. But for Cry though, again, we've been talking about the recovery that he made despite that fumble towards top side. For mid, looks like JP having a pretty good time against the Cork in terms of CS, 63 to 86, not to mention a 2-0 versus 1-1.
There's no contest on this.
Oh man,
Ice is way up on the wrong side of the map, and a free Infernal Drake to a team that's trying to build a snowball. That's probably the best case scenario that UC wishes for.
And everybody's going to be so painful on UC with that Infernal.
We're going to see a dive.
Here comes Ice though, goes for the jump, and that will be a stun though, but Chris manages to secure the kill, ramming his way into the cannon.
Yeah, and there is no real escape. There's so much CC and lockdown coming from Ornn. And because he's already braining his flash, and Ice just for good measure flanking around. Just a great executed gank there. It did give up the Infernal Drake though.
Take note, looks like Chris gonna start going for a change of pace here. Has already built up some magic resist just so that he doesn't get to feel the full onslaught of damage that Kissy could deal. Because if we're going to look at Kissy's build-up, as you mentioned, looks like Hextech Gunblade has been built. Will eventually lead up to the Proto Belt. So, jump on two. Jor's right there. Looks like we'll manage to flash away along with the Valkyrie out of there. Sayonara, baby.
Yeah, enough layers of safety for Jors to cushion himself onto, even with the point-and-click lockdown, even with the Cataclysm terrain. He's able to get out, and that was very, very close. Just escapes by the skin of his teeth. Very, very well played by BULSU's mid laner, but Chris is in a bit of trouble here.
Indeed, that will be the root. Will it connect? Yes, that will be the root. But take note, this is a very tanky Ornn. I don't think Franz and Akinos could take him down. That will be Curtain Call. Let's go ahead and see. But here comes Cry, gets the knockup. Chris gets out of Curtain Call range, but still continually being chased. That will be the knockup together with Cry, though. Cry easily secures the kill with one auto track. Boom, down that Ornn goes.
I almost think Chris could have actually gotten away from that, but Cry with his flash over to get in the same range as the blast cone. Very well played by him. They're able to pick up the kill on the overextended Ornn, but BULSU, they're trying to respond on the other side of the map.
That will be a stun onto Kennen. Locked down together with the Dark Binding. Here comes Ice as well, though. That will be a minute of stasis, but only prolongs the inevitable. Ice gets the kill.
There is no escape on that. Once Morgana bind lands onto you, you're just AFK practically. There's nothing you can do.
Meanwhile, looks like UC gonna respond with a Rip Herald take. We'll be passing it on to Cry. So good trade right there in the midst of everything that happened towards bot lane. Favor of Bulacan State University. That will be a third down.
Ornn has ultimate if he wants to go for this.
Is he though? That is the question.
It's very tempting.
Will restrain himself though, fully aware that potentially maybe with that, I think that's a bit smart because considering that Rip Herald was just taken, that does kind of send the signal that there is more than just France there towards the top side.
Can they go for a dive here? There are 3 members of UC in the top lane, but Chris is fairly tanky. This is very dangerous if they want to go for this. But yeah, looking back, that bot lane tower take from BULSU just goes so well in their favor because as a team that is behind, any free objective you can take, any kills you can get, it's going to be so good for you because it gives you more gold. It lets you get these items that you need to come back into the game. So you see getting out-rotated by BULSU there.
And it's interesting because as far as differences, there isn't as much a substantial lead that you would have potentially expected just because Bulacan State University, they're holding their own in this game. And we haven't seen it go past 2-5 at all. It's always been playing around the 1-5 to 2K mark for as far as goal difference. So I think it's still pretty much anybody's game. But then again, let's go ahead and look at who the prime suspects are as far as who's leading for both sides. I mean, it's pretty clear that Chris has a pretty good leg up 2-1 in comparison to a Kennen that's already 0-3.
Yeah, I have to agree with that right there. One of the reasons why BULSU is holding their own as we transition into the mid-game, in contrast to that previous game. Oh, Kissy's in trouble though.
That will be the knockup onto Kissy Connects, but looks like they won't further pursue. That would have been a dangerous tower dive should they have gone for it though.
Yeah, but looking back, like I said, during the first game, Kissy was so far ahead on this Jace, and it really shut down a lot of what BULSU could do. But in this game, he's behind us on this Kennen, and it's allowing BULSU to play to their pace, really control how the map moves, because Chris can control the top laner of UC in this match.
Let's go ahead and see Bulacan State University.
Package?
Looks like members of UC are starting to converge towards this. It's the usual subs. That's basically Cry, Franz, as well as Akinos. That will be a knockup on to Joris. Joris gets the root though. Will he further pursue? No, that isn't the case.
Oh my god,
look
it's
at
so much
Akinos.
damage!
Wow, he goes down. That's absolutely crazy what Joris is dishing out right now. Let's go and check out items though. Hex Drinker along with a... That's pretty weird with the stream, but looks like that will be ice. Gets converged on right there. Collapse a boom.
Yeah, they put him on ice.
I see what you think.
Yeah, and looking at Akinos, they're trying to 1v1 the Corki, not respecting the burst coming from the Sheen, and that was just a very well played skirmish, I would say, from Joris. Very nice.
Let's go ahead and see it. This is just going back and forth, but then again, Ice really needs to start looking out for himself because he's starting to fall way behind in comparison to the competition. If you're going to notice, Cry already having completed his first jungle item along with a pair of boots, already building towards his second item, whilst Ice, not even a single item completed for him yet. Not boots, not even his first jungle item for that matter. So, has to take it a bit easier, my friend.
Yeah, but Arctic, you mentioned this game is going back and forth. The more back and forth it goes, the more it will favor BULSU because their comp is just stronger when it comes to those 5v5 team fights. They are going to outscale the members of UC, so the more back and forth this goes, BULSU might just run away with it.
The longer Bulacan State University manages to prolong it, basically, it's going to work in their favor. So,
because in the previous game, at this stage, they were so far behind. Are we going to see a fight?
Oh, that's going to be the collapse onto Chris right there, but that's a tanky. Orin manages to hold his own. George gets the kill onto Cry right there. This might be the reverse that Bulacan State University might be looking for. That will be a 1-for-1 so far. Top for a jungler, but here comes Kisi. Gets the stun. George might be in a bit of trouble there as well. That's going to be the heal popped by him. Goes for the trade. Actually manages to secure a kill before getting chased down by UC. Ice, though, is he going to get the cleanup? But no, those are two members of UC still up. He's running for his life right now. Will he manage to escape though? Take note, Ice and MP only surviving members. MP still far away from comfort. Ice is getting the full hits from Kisi and down he goes. Kisi with that auto attack secures the kill.
What a huge flank by the Kennen to secure that team fight for UC. It started out so well for BULSU, but once the Kennen arrived, what a great position right behind the members of BULSU, right in that choke point, and the Kennen just does so much work if he's able to go in these spots, and great job there by UC winning the team fight.
Not the best positioning by BULSU, allowing that to happen to himself. Let's go ahead and see what happened though. Ice goes in, actually front line. Here comes Chris though, try to alleviate that.
Yeah, the start of this fight is very great because the Orange soaks up so much damage, and it allows the members of BULSU to just constantly free it, but there isn't enough damage left because MP wasn't here, and like I mentioned, the great flank by Kissy just seals the rest of the team fight for UC.
The outside down, the doors goes. I mean, Ice tries to alleviate by getting one more casualty, but at the end of the day, that ended in a 2-for-3 if I'm not mistaken. So overall, it's still a little bit of a leg up for University of the Cordilleras now. If you're going to notice, we're already past 3.5k as far as gold lead. That's going to be Kisi.
Yes, the flash.
Going to go in. Will Kisi manage to escape though? Ram does not manage to connect for the knockup. That's going to be the jump in, but no! Kisi manages to secure the kill. 1-for-1, top for jungler. Ice unfortunately goes down in the midst of everything.
What a great turnaround there again from Kissy. Now he's straight back into this game. They did trade 1-for-1 though, and now with the jungler out for BULSU, what can UC take off the map?
Kisi, my boy, continuing to impress from a 0-3. We were talking about how behind he was earlier, but with that recovery going 4-4, man, what a comeback. But
he was warming up in the laning phase,
oh,
man.
Definitely.
I mean, with Ice constantly being top lane, he was cold.
sad.
Realm of bot lane.
Oh, that's going to be the route. 3 members of UC are on this Ornn, but take note, Ornn is very, very tanky. Chris trying to make this escape. That will be the lockdown. JB gets the kill.
Yeah, UC, they're beginning to turn it up now, and they're picking up kills all across the map, using their tools to rotate and just pick off members in side lanes. BULSU, they need to retaliate. Now they can't let UC out of hand, really.
Well, it looks like UC going to go full force towards this bot side. They're going to really go for this push here. Meanwhile, take note, Kisi is going to try to defend towards top. Going to go for a bit of a split.
There's no one to defend here from BULSU. They're picking on the Baron.
Whoa, let's go and see. UC looks like they
Oh
will continue to push.
BULSU are going to get the Baron.
Tower. I'm surprised that UC not considering that this Baron is being taken. Why they're not seeing this? Meanwhile, Kisi looks like finally realizes something is up. Might decide to go in though.
Flash.
Potentially could go for a stun onto the members of Bulacan State University. Those are 5 members that are stunned down. The context goes. Here comes Cry as well. Double kill right now for Kisi. Shut down though onto Kennen and Vengeance. Cry might be chased down here as well. He's converged on by the Ornn as well as Jors, and down he goes. Double kill for that Corki. But take note, you see in the midst of everything, they're going for this push towards bot side. That's a lot of value. 2 turrets, not to mention an inhibitor. What a trade.
And they take more. So BULSU, they secure the Baron, but at what cost? They give up 3 kills and an inhibitor bot lane. That is so much more map pressure for UC to work around. Now they can go to mid or top and take down the towers, because the minions in the bot lane will just do the work for them and just shove it over and over, and BULSU, they have to defend that.
Been wondering in the midst of everything though, where is MP in most of everything? Because he's still
on Summoner's Rift.
He's on Summoner's Rift, still looking to establish a bit more of his image there, considering that he's 0-3 right now. So go ahead and check out what happened.
This is a very dangerous situation. A Kennen that's AP and has Flash. Great secure on that spine, because if UC secured that Baron, that might have been the nail in the coffin for BULSU, but luckily enough for them, they are able to disengage for the rest of this fight, and they are able to save a few more Baron buffs, but still great cleanup on what they can take from UC.
That would have been pretty juicy though. I mean, if UC, like you mentioned, if UC managed to secure that Baron, considering that the rest of the members were already pushing bot, already going for an inhibitor, that may have been much more. So, I don't know, man. Let's go ahead and see how this game will go though. 11-15.
That was Kisi's moment. All eyes were on him.
I know. Great recovery though.
You're at AP Kennen with Flash. The entire enemy team in the Baron pit, you just have to pull the trigger on that, man. There's no way you're not.
And I gotta say, I mean, I was almost thinking that Kisi might have gone south in this game, considering he was 0-3, but nope. Goes full north all the way. Kisi, fortunately, doesn't get the full value of trying to get stuns, but that doesn't matter. Ralph goes down to him. MP as well. Ice and Joris, they're on the run for dear life. Joris tries to balance things out, but no, just gets locked down and taken down by UC. Take note, 4 members. Only Ice manages to survive. This could be big for UC, though. Baron buff is down for all members of BULSU. Fortunately, they weren't able to get any value out of it.
Yeah, and once again, UC turning up the pace of this game. They're making use of Karma's Mantra Shield to speed themselves up and really get in a good position to catch out the members of BULSU. And BULSU, they were just caught out. There wasn't any real response or disengage coming from them. And UC, they're beginning to control this game.
Man, oh man, 12-19. The build-up is definitely there. I mean, earlier we were just playing around 1,500 to 2K of a difference. Now, we're finally seeing a solid lead, 6,000. And again, we've been talking about this time and time again. Once we hit that 10K mark, it's like there's no going back for either team. Let's go ahead and see, though. Like you mentioned, Bulacan State University, the longer this game goes, the more potential that they have to go head-to-head with UC or even dominate. So, let's see if they'll manage to hold their ground, because so far, UC definitely has a good lead over him.
Yeah, BULSU definitely doesn't want to go down 0-2 in a best of 5 series, I should say, because that'll be a real break in your momentum, because they were beginning to go even versus UC, but Cry will not get in trouble. Yeah, he's fine.
Meanwhile, Jor is getting a shove up here towards top Kisi. Is he going to go in? Nope, actually just goes for clear away right there. Jors, though, quite a bit of damage being traded between both sides here. Yordle versus Yordle. Still, that will force Kisi to flash away.
Kisi needs to be very careful. He doesn't have an airplane. That's very unfair.
That's not a fair fight, man.
He tosses shurikens and his enemy has a fighter jet.
That's true. That's true.
It's very unfair.
Oh, you see though, starting to establish offensive vision. This is going to limit Bulacan State University as far as reach across this map. And they're on the defense right now. Take note, you see just shoving out lanes across the map.
Yeah, you see they're going back to really what won them the first game, moving across the map, controlling what lane shove, controlling where the minions go. And for BULSU, they need to look for that team fight that can turn things around for them. They have that team fight potential. Their carries are beginning to scale. The Trinity Force is already complete on the Jars, and he's building towards might possibly be an Infinity Edge on the Caitlyn. Even though MP is 0-4, if you let this Caitlyn free hit in a team fight, she will just absolutely destroy your team.
And in all fairness to MP though, I mean, even though he's falling behind as far as his KDA, if you're going to look at itemization, he's actually not super behind as you would have expected. I mean, it's pretty balanced. 2 items completed each for both his Caitlyn and Jin. It's just that, okay, we have a fight though. Joris getting the full. It's almost Ralph. Oh, okay, last hit manages to secure the target right there. Take note, mid and support though are down.
He went down in the end. I'm so unfortunate for Jars right there, but it is a 1-for-1 trade, which, again, the longer this game goes back and forth, the more it'll favor Bulacan State University.
Take note, Inhibitor has respawned for Bulacan State University. This will give them a little bit of more breathing room, just a sigh of relief, but still UC is on the offense though. Clearly, they don't want to give any more opportunities for Bulacan State University to try to get back into this game. Let's go ahead and see if Bulacan State University can hold their ground. Chris, he's going to go for an initiate. Doesn't get the connecting knockup though as he gets CC locked down by the members of UC. Down he goes. Franz with the last hit secures the kill.
Yeah, unfortunately for Chris, he wasn't able to get the second part of Orn's ultimate off right there. So the engage will not push through for UC, but
oh, stun right there onto Ralph. But meanwhile, it looks like Kisi actually gets locked in the Cataclysm. Cry already goes
Jors?
down. Could take it on himself. Meanwhile, Jors is going to try something. Here comes Ice though, coming in from the sidelines. Is he going to try to go for a cleanup?
Fairly low.
Those are some juicy targets. Looks like he's going to go for Akinos instead. He manages to find an isolated Karma. Almost gets rooted. Looks like we'll make his escape. The Franz, take note, gets the kill onto Jors. 3 members of Bulacan State University are down.
This is very, very messy. You see they're going for more aggressive pushes, whereas BULSU, they're trying to look for skirmishes, trying to look for 1v1 fights, but will the Rel Warp catch Ice?
Oh, University of Cordilleras, they smell blood. Will they get Ice though? That will be the root. Boom! Down he goes. Franz, curtain calls have been on point, I gotta say. Good job, my friend.
Yeah, and you see they're making use of their Realm Warp and their empowered shields from Karma to really move across the map so quickly, and BULSU, they're just getting left in the dust. They aren't able to run away from UC, and UC are playing this mid game so well, and now Baron on the table. How could BULSU respond to this?
Oh man, this is going to be big for University of the Cordilleras. They could potentially close out if they play their cards right and secure
this
this
going to UC.
Ralph, though, he's kind of lingering. Of course, couldn't go for the steal as a Morgana. Could try to interrupt, but not really go for as far as that. Here comes Teleport, though, coming in from Kisi. They smell blood. They want in on this Morgana. That's going to be full CT lockdown. Down he goes. Kisi gets the kill, but looks like they're not done just yet. Here comes Jors and Chris. They're going to try to back away. They try to go for Epi, but Kisi takes more than he could chew and goes down. That will be the shutdown. Looks like Chris is going to seek to overextend it. 3-man knockup coming in from that Ornn right there. This is too much for UC. Just going down one by one. Cry goes for the Cataclysm into Jors, but no, looks like this could be the reversal. UC overstays their welcome. Holy cow, what just happened?
UC, they overextend right after the Baron take, and BULSU, they were able to kite back well enough, and now the death timers suddenly are so long. How much can BULSU take?
Oh, I was not expecting this. Just when you think University of the Cordilleras had this game in what was one crazy prolonged moment. Let's go ahead and check out what happened.
This was UC overextending, and they're very, very split up here. There was no instant, immediate follow-up to the slicing Maelstrom, and with BULSU able to kite that back, they were able to turn it around, and in this choke point, there's no escape from Ornn's ultimate. Just a great, well-played team fight from BULSU. Great execution all throughout.
I see. Cry as well, you know, couldn't really decide on who to go for there. Couldn't gone straight for George, but there was that moment where he tries to go for Chris and then realizes James started.
Christ alone!
But here comes curtain call. Looks like it's going to get pulled connect, but Chris just tanking it like a god. Meanwhile, Ice forced to flash away, gets caught between 3 members of University of the Cordilleras. Won't be any further pursuit. The traps from MP. Oh, that's going to be 3 members to contend with all 5 members of Bulacan State University. Double kill for Ralph. Bawing bawi.
What a disaster for UC right there. Can they go for more?
Kissy, he might be caught in quite the tight place there. George securing the kill. That is 3 members. Take note of University of the Cordilleras down. What is going on?
What a suicidal realm art right there. You're going to send 3 people to face 5. That is really not good odds for you, UC. And man, BULSU just turns it around. I think they might be able to take down this mid inhibitor for sure.
Man, oh man. It's like University of the Cordilleras, they suddenly go offline with all these awkward mistakes back and forth. Let's go ahead and check out what happened in that replay though.
So the start of this fight, BULSU, they're disengaging. They don't want to fight, but UC, they want to pull the trigger. These are not good odds. This is 3 versus 5. Why would you go for that? And BULSU, they know that UC isn't disadvantaged, so they immediately turn around and they win the team fight off of that.
I see. They were potentially banking on QC following up right away as soon as they came in, but instead of UC running away, they just went full collapse on those 3 members there.
A bit too ham.
A bit too. Yeah, way too. And it's crazy because earlier, University of Cordilleras, they were so ahead. Like, there was this 6,000 of a goal difference, but now, look at it. It's so even. And you were talking earlier about how once this game goes longer, Bulacan State University has that advantage working for them because of their composition. And I think we're at that point right now.
Yeah, I think... Yeah, we are at that stage where it has turned into UC's game to lose because the gold is even. Like I mentioned, BULSU's members will outscale them in terms of damage. And George does have the package.
Makes his way out of there. Hasta la vista, baby. But he's taking quite a number of curtain call hits there. Will survive, though.
Yeah, UC, they need to go for that team fight. They can't let this get out of hand. But BULSU, they've been counter-attacking fairly well. And Ice is...
Oh, Cataclysm right there for the lockdown from Cry. Meanwhile, Ice looking to escape. JP, though, comes in from the flank. But, man, with 5 members, there's only so much you can do as a bug. And
definitely. Now, might that be the pick that sends UC into a 2-0 lead? They are going to try and barrel down this bot lane. They are 5 members strong. How can BULSU defend?
Is this going to be University of Cordilleras' potential comeback after quite the fumble earlier? We'll just have to see. They want in on this inhibitor. They're making good work of it. Chris, is he going to go for an initiate? Gets only 1 member knocked up right there. Looks like they will just defend instead. Cry takes so much damage though.
Oh my god, they're going to turn it around.
But looks like this will be the turnaround indeed. G-Stow. Kisi, that will be a moment of stasis. But what do you man knock up onto the members of UC? They're trying to run this out. Looks like JP will be the next casualty. Forced to fall behind and down he goes. Triple kill for MP. What is it with this game? Like, so many people making comebacks. Earlier it was Kisi, now it's MP.
UC were forcing the issue right there. That was a very, very hard engage attempt by them, but BULSU were able to kite back. And now, with the minions shoving in the mid lane, I think Chris will be able to knock down Nexus Starts. I wonder how fast can UC get back to defend this?
And it's interesting, Franz and Akinos, because of the threat of Bulacan State University pursuing them, they had no choice but to walk all the way back to base. And looks like that will be a moment right there. Bulacan State University, they're here at the base. Could they go for the finish?
Kissy's up in 7.
Kissy's up in just a bit. Meanwhile, JP still 10 seconds before he comes back online. UC finding themselves in an awkward position. They're on the defense. Cry, though, takes quite a bit of damage right then and there. Looks like UC will manage to defend. Let's go ahead and check out the replay.
The initial engage from Cry unfortunately didn't land from him. And with Kissy not able to flank around in this open area on the cannon, the effectiveness of slicing Maelstrom is shut down a lot. See, the members of BULSU with the Solari, with the Black Shields, they were able to kite away properly, and this huge knock-up just means BULSU will just run away with the rest of this team fight. Very well played by BULSU.
It's crazy because these last few minutes, it's like University of the Cordilleras has pretty much went offline as far as the teamwork. I mean, there's people that go in ahead of the rest of the members before anybody else could set up. It's very awkward these past 10 minutes. And overall, if UC continues to play it as such wherein they just lost all their groove entirely, then this could potentially go 1-1, Chisto. I don't know.
Yeah, UC, they need to begin playing more compact, more teamwork. Try to realm warp the cannon into the backline. Go for that huge flank because the cannon running in front of BULSU at this stage is very, very ineffective because they are going to be able to kite back. And BULSU, they're at the stage in the game where they have scaled up. They've secured their core items. So the teamfight advantage is definitely in their favor now. Even the game going this way, I still think whoever wins the next teamfight might just run away with the game. And with Baron spawning fairly soon, that might be the final battleground for both these teams.
Yeah, and one thing I was wondering, because throughout most of these fights, if you notice how Cry goes down, I was almost wondering, did he go for an AD build? But looking at his items, actually,
His Guardian Angel.
It's crazy because he's actually gone pretty tanky, but still, in that last fight, just got shredded by the members of Bulacan State University.
BULSU do have control over the Baron area. UC, they have not placed any wards. This is a very dangerous face check for them.
Oh, let's go ahead and see. Look at the control.
There's no TP from Kissy, by the way.
Okay, looks like Akinos will manage to spot those members out in that brush as that makes a connect.
Just very, very tense.
It looks like MP gonna go for the shove here towards top side. Bulacan State University boding their time well, doesn't want to force the Baron. Just waiting for the right opportunity.
They can rush this down though. If they do opt to go for the Baron, it will go down very, very quickly. But whoa, I think Kissy will get taken out.
Ice looks like will be the sacrifice, will be the distraction actually, because with Ice going for the initiate, this could be the moment Bulacan State University needs to potentially start off the Baron. Looks like they're still holding their ground.
Oh, no,
Ice actually goes in! Kissy not expecting that at all in the midst of recall. Down he goes. Looks like UC gonna seek
this is huge,
but that's gonna be Cataclysm connecting on to the Kha'Zix, but jumps right out of there. That's going to be double kill for Ice right there. Vengeance is at hand for the Bug. Meanwhile, two members of UC, they're trying to run away, but this is going to be the game, my friend.
Yeah, Ice taking matters into his own hands. He takes down a cannon, which is the key component of the teamfight potential of UC. And now 5 members strong. BULSU with the man advantage will strike back and tie this series up.
There we go, ladies and gents. Congratulations, Bulacan State University, in quite the turn of events, takes Game 2, equaling the scoreboard 1-1.
What a shift in momentum.
That was... I don't know what happened there. I mean...
Yeah. That was a very, very well-played turnaround, I should say, from BULSU. They really did their job well, trying to defend, trying to turtle towards that late game, and once they scaled, they were able to constantly turn around the engages from UC, and for UC, a bit disjointed, I should say, compared to that first game.
I think, as far as what happened, this is what I've been noticing in Bulacan State University since day one of this particular term, wherein the longer they go, they're kind of like a sponge, wherein whatever happens on the rift, they manage to absorb, they manage to learn from whatever mistakes that they make, and they just know how to change game plan real quick, and I like that adaptability in a team. And considering that this is a best of 5, this might potentially bode well for them. We'll just have to see though, because UC is good competition.
Now it is tied up 1-1, so this is practically just a best of 3 from here on out. Now both teams have a win under their belts. Both teams already know what strategies the other can do and what they are good at. Now for the game 3, it might be the momentum shift for either team really, because whoever comes out on top of that game 3 will be in a very prime position to end the series.
We'll just have to see, Chisto. But for the meantime, ladies and gents, that has been Game 2. Scoreboard is equal 1-1. Who's going to win the finals? Nobody knows. But we'll just have to find out in a little bit, though. Of course, we're going to be taking a quick break, leaving our casters. Arctic the Service Fam with me is Chisto. This is the Garena Local Collegiate League 2017 Summer Term North Conference Finals, powered by Lenovo. Challenge with Lenovo. We'll be right back in just a few. So stay tuned, fam. Oh, that's going to be the collapse onto Chris right there, but that's a tanky. Orin manages to hold his own. George gets the kill onto Cry right there. This would be the reverse that Bulacan State University might be looking for. That will be a 1-for-1 so far. Top for jungler, but here comes Kissy. Gets the stun. George might be in a bit of trouble there as well. That's going to be the heal popped by him. He goes for the trade. Actually manages to secure a kill before getting chased down by UC. Ice though, is he going to get the cleanup? But no, those are 2 members of UC still up. He's running for his life right now. Really nice to escape though. Take note, Ice and MP only surviving members. MP still far away from comfort. Ice is getting the full members of Bulacan State University. Those are 5 members that are stunned down. Here comes Cry as well. Double kill right now for Kisi. Shutdown go on to Kennen and Vengeance. Prime might be chased down here as well. He's converged on by the Ornn as well as George. Fortunately, doesn't get the full value of trying to get stuns, but that doesn't matter. Ralph goes down to him. MP as well. Ice and George, they're on the run for dear life. George tries to balance things out, but no, just gets locked down and taken down by UC. They want in on this Morgana. That's going to be full TT lockdown. Down he goes. Kisi gets the kill, but looks like they're not done just yet. Here comes George and Chris. They're going to try to back away. They're trying to go for Epi, but Kisi takes more than he could chew and goes down. That will be the shutdown. Looks like Chris going to see the overextended. 3-man knockup coming in from that Ornn right there. This is too much for UC. Just going down one by one try. Goes for the Cataclysm into George, but no, looks like this could be the reversal. UC overstands are welcome. Holy cow, what just happened? Gets caught between 3 members of the University of Cordilleras. That won't be any further pursuit or traps from MP6. Oh, that's going to be 3 members to contend with all 5 members of Bulacan State University. Double kill for Ralph. Bawing bawing.
What a disaster for UC right there. Can they go for more?
Kisi, he might be caught in quite the tight place there. Is he going to go for it? Initiate gets only 1 number knocked up right there. Looks like they will just defend instead. Grind takes so much damage though.
Oh my god, they're going to turn it around.
But looks like this will be the turnaround in DG still. Kisi, that will be a moment of stasis. But what are you knock up onto the members of UC? They're trying to run this out. Looks like JP will be the next casualty. Forced to fall behind and down he goes.
Oh, this is huge.
But that's going to be Cataclysm connecting on to the Kha'Zix, but that's right out of there. That's going to be double kill for Ice right there. Vengeance is at hand for the Bug. Meanwhile, 2 members of UC, they're trying to run away, but this is going to be the game, my friend.
Yeah, Ice taking matters into his own hands. He takes down a cannon, which is the key component of the teamfight potential of UC. And now 5 members strong. BULSU with the man advantage will strike back and tie this series up.
There we go, ladies and gents. Congratulations, Bulacan State University in quite the turn of events takes game 2, equaling the scoreboard.
What a shifting momentum.
Not enough Garena shells to buy the latest League of Legends skin? On sale now? Get shells anytime, anywhere with your Globe or Touch mobile number. Go to gamer.com.ph and sign up with your mobile number and enter the verification code you will receive via SMS. Log in and choose the game and pin you want. Check out to purchase the pin with your load or through your postpaid account and receive the pin on your phone instantly. Never miss a sale on your favorite League of Legends skins and champions with Gamer.